Hi guys, thanks for joining us. This is Bocut's Barber Academy coming at you with burst fade, starting with the zero. Hair's kind of short. We're going to show you how to bring out that definition around the ears and a couple different techniques that'll help you get it accomplished. All right guys, we're going to jump into this video quick. The biggest thing when it comes to burst fades is where do I put my bald line, right? So a lot of people have the question is, where is it set? Where does it come out to? A really quick, easy technique that we've used over the years is just taking your Barbicide cap or your spray disinfectant cap. And what we're going to do is we're going to place it right over the ear like this. And as I'm covering the ear, it shows me what I cut off here and I bring it all around. That's a great start to making sure that I'm setting this in the right place, okay? So what I would do is if I didn't know, I would just hold it there and I'm going to come back and just kind of eye it, coming in with the corner of my trimmer, wrap around this way, bring it down. And I want to try to get as much of a circle as I can on the head. We'll go back. All right, maybe we got a little more piece right there. And then we're gonna come back and just clean that all up. That's a great way to set and make sure that both sides are even by using the ear as well as using that cap to create this nice circle around the ear. So the whole idea of the burst fade is to have darkness here, light around the ear, and then darkness again here in the back, okay? So our first step, there you go. We've marked off what we believe to be a circle around the ear by taking that cap, covering the ear. Let's jump into our next step. Whether you're using wall, Babyliss, any kind of clipper, you're gonna take your clipper, it's gonna be clipper open, and we're gonna do about the width of a finger around the whole entire little circle that we've done right off of the bald line, okay? It looks like this. So pull the ear down. I'm gonna come each direction, so that means my clipper will sit here, 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 all the way till I work all the way around. So imagine my clipper's working in this motion. As I'm doing that, I'm coming off the head, okay? And I'm trying to keep this as consistent as I can. Now notice we have a little issue right there, so the hair's coming back this way. I gotta go up and against the grain of the hair. We'll continue back this way using the corners of my guard. I'm gonna take my trimmer and I'm gonna make a nice wide pattern right off the circle that I just created from my bald line, okay? The next step is pretty simple. I'm gonna totally close our clipper and we're gonna begin flicking using the corners. Try to get down here so you can see we're flicking that out using the corners coming around. Now we'll use the corners to do the front side. Come all the way up, make sure this is nice and clean before we get into our next guard, okay? So now this circle is just going to get wider as we open it up and get closer to that top of the head and the sides here towards the front. Remember, we're going for dark, lighter, and then dark back here as well. Our second step we're going to now take is our one. Okay, first one was clipper open. This is going to be one attachment on top of lever open. And we're going to do the exact same thing about one finger width as we move in that same pattern that we set around the ear. Moving towards the front. There you go. Obviously we got to go against the grain here to make sure that it's going. Also, next move, I'm going to go ahead and close my guard completely. Come around. It's really important that I'm working against the grain when I'm doing this burst fade, because if not, I won't be able to get these small little hairs that need to come off. Sometimes it takes me stretching that skin and coming up and against the grain. So we're getting pretty close there as you see, okay? Just by working that. The last step that we're gonna do is we're gonna take our 0.5 lever open, okay? Always start lever open. As you could see there, if we could kind of get close there, the grain of the hair is coming back this way, so that lets me know that I gotta come opposite of the grain of the hair, especially in this corner, okay? We're gonna come down, open first, and we're gonna close to whatever we need. Here at school, we call this 0.5 our eraser. We shouldn't be marking any more lines. It's basically taking all the lines out that we previously put and just touching any spot that we see that might need it. So I'm gonna come back, clipper open, kind of float on the higher areas, tap here, tap there, come towards the front, working against the grain there. Stretch the skin to make sure I can get into those areas that need to get cleaned up. Totally close our guard. Okay. Now we're pretty close. Now there's two options for you guys. I always tell my students, once we get to the 1.5, the easiest thing that we can do is go 1.5, but it goes with the shape of the customer's head. So depending on what the customer's head is, that's the shape we're gonna take. Now, if I wanted to go ahead and leave a little more darkness, or if I wanted to bring the shape out a little bit more, was leaning out to the side, then I wouldn't use my 1.5, I would go to clipper over comb. Just for the video purposes, I'll show you where we need to take the 1.5. So now it's 1.5 attachment on clipper open, and we're coming off, straight off the side of the head. Up and off, all the way to the front. So all I did was create that nice circle around the ear, and I just made it bigger with each clip that I grabbed, okay? Now as we move back, we can go ahead and grab our one. I know if that I'm in different areas of the head, I need to grab the clipper that I previously went to make sure that I didn't miss any hairs. As you see there, now we're gonna go down to the one, close. Now we're gonna move over to our clipper over comb technique. Starting from the back side of the head here, I'm gonna go ahead and rotate. Notice this angle is gonna be something like this. As I worked around, I'm gonna work around in every direction all the way till I get to the front of that head, okay? So we'll come back here, clipper over comb. I'm just gonna be real steady and move my comb all the way through, knocking off these little ridges all the way to the top here, making sure that nothing's popping out past. And we'll do a nice double check by rotating our client directly towards the mirror, or in this case, it's gonna be the camera. I wanna make sure that nothing else is popping out past that marker, right? And if I look straight ahead, there's a little bit of a corner that we still have there that I wanna work with. So we'll go ahead and turn them this way and go ahead and establish that we wanna reset that corner. Just go a little softer in that area. And that's the beauty of using clipper over comb, that I'm not tied to the shape of the head. I can kind of give the client whatever shape is required to give him his desired look. Okay, as we're moving back through there, all we're gonna do now is we're gonna bring out that front section of the hair and also our outline in the back. There's two options. In this case, we're gonna probably just do kind of like a V or like a rounded V, and that looks a little like this. We're gonna take that middle section there, take the middle of the head there. I wanna start that there, get our other point coming the other opposite way. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go almost like if we're doing a round. So we'll bring this around this way. Make sure it's really nice and clean. That's the importance. That's what's gonna bring out this corner of this burst fade. Bring that down there. And we're gonna try to bring this line up as high as we can. Now it's getting a little funny right there because the grain of his hair wants to go back this way, but that's okay. We're gonna bring that out as best we can, and we're gonna make sure it travels as high as we can make it go. We'll rotate him this way now. We're gonna go ahead and start cleaning up this section of hair. We want this burst to really pop right here, so we might have to do a little cleanup work there. And then right here, we're gonna grab everything that's extra and try to bring down this C cup as far as down as we can while keeping it natural, okay? Let's go ahead and go back to our clipper and work around. Okay, lever open. That's what we started with off of our bald line. Going against the grain of the hair, okay? Close it if we need to. There you go. There's a nice little burst fade. We're gonna go and flip to the other side and we'll redo exactly what we did on this side, okay? All right, coming over to this side, we're gonna do this exact same technique we used. We're gonna take the cap of our disinfectant and we're gonna place it there. That gives me a good parameter. I'm setting about right here. Come and mark that spot where I wanna hit. And then this is right there. I wanna hit about that spot. We can recover again, and I'm coming up all the way to like right there. That helps me establish how high I need to go on my first guideline coming off our bald line with our burst fade, which is probably the most problematic, I would say, especially for those of you beginning to do these burst fades. Where do I start to put my bald line? Well, just take that cap, place it over the ear, and it's gonna give you a great parameter to where you could set that first bald line. Okay, we're gonna try to clean that up as much as possible. We can come and recheck. Yeah, we're pretty close. I like that. Then we're gonna go and continue to our second step, which is gonna be just our clipper open, working in that circular motion all the way around. Okay, so my clipper, once again, clipper open all the way. It's the same with Babyliss, Andes, Wall. As long as you get clipper open, I'm gonna give one finger width all the way around, rotating that clipper. Okay, we're gonna have the same little issue here. If you notice, the grain of his hair is pushing back this way. So instead of coming back this way, I'm gonna have to go against the grain. Okay, I can't go with the grain of the hair. So here we're gonna come in, clipper open. I'm gonna work the corners, starting with my back, my right corner to move up. And then I'm gonna use my left corner to travel up into that guideline. We're gonna go against it here. And I'm gonna switch over here. Sorry if I give you guys my back really quick. We're gonna turn over this way. Can you guys still see that okay there? Okay. Switch over, we're gonna come through. Okay, now we're gonna totally bring this forward like that a little bit. We're gonna totally close the guard now, okay? That's the next step we do. Closing the guard, I'm gonna work that bottom first line there. I set my first guideline, the width of a finger, to help me know I can't go any higher than this, okay? So now, with pulling the skin, stretching it with my thumb, closing the guard all the way, I'm able to just tap that little corner there to get rid of that bald line that I have, or that little line coming off my bald line. All the way through there, all the way through there. So it doesn't take a lot of effort to take it off because we're only going from clipper open to bald, okay? So we make sure we can stay in our parameters. That'll really help us to establish what lever or what length we have to leave that lever open, right? Whether it's closed all the way or whether it's halfway open, but that's gonna help us a lot when we get to that point, okay? The second step we're gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and move over here, is we're gonna grab our one guard, okay? Our one guard is gonna work in that same motion. It's gonna be lever open, one guard on top, one attachment, and it's gonna wrap around the whole entire head again, okay? So we're gonna come up this way, first lever open, pushing up the hair as much as I can, as long as I leave that same width all the way around, coming up along the back here. And we're gonna come and do the second step we're supposed to do, which is now lever closed, okay? Closing the lever all the way is gonna get me closer to where I need to. Now, keep in mind, I'm still doing the same thing that I did on all my first times. When I blended, was stretch the skin, right? Stretch the skin, make sure that skin is nice and stretched so that when I'm coming through with the machine, I'm picking up or picking what I wanna cut, okay? So now we're gonna go down to our last and final step, which we call like the eraser, right? It's taking our 0.5 guard, lever open. We're gonna start with it open first, okay? And we call it our eraser because this last guard, I shouldn't be marking any more lines, okay? This guard is gonna completely take all my little lines out and provide me with that detail work that I need for this burst fade to pop. And then just so you guys know, we're not using a lot of clippers here. We're using just a trimmer and we're using just a clipper with a lever on it, okay? Minimal tools. We want to teach you guys how to use the tools instead of having a lot of tools that you don't know how to use. So 1.5 at the top, like I mentioned, I can use this technique with 1.5 lever open all the way to the top, almost into that parietal ridge right here, or I can go with clipper over comb. So first we'll do the 1.5. And if we need to, we'll kind of provide a little bit more shape with our 1.5 clipper over comb technique, okay? So 1.5, up and off the head. Try to, almost like skimming, okay? Where I'm not putting a lot of pressure. Now, as I want to erase that bottom line, I will put a little bit more pressure. Okay, now we got a little bit of lines right there that we got to clean up, okay? And we're gonna come back with our one, just like we did the other side. But now it's really simple because we know what guards we used in what areas, right? When we stick to patterns and guides and a process when cutting, we're not having to guess, oh, what clip did I use there? Or how did I get that desired look last time? It's really simple. You follow your process, and if you see a line, you're gonna go back to the guard that you previously used to make sure that there's no little harsh lines or something that needs to get cleaned up, okay? Same thing here. As we come to this side, I'm gonna go ahead and rotate this way. We still have a little bit of shaping to do here, so we'll do a little bit of cleanup work just right there. And we're gonna do clipper over comb. This might be a little tough for you guys to see, but now we have to come from the front here. Like if we're doing a clipper over comb on just a regular like fade, but it changes a little bit once we get to the back. So maybe we can come in right there and see that. I'm trying to lift my arm up here so you guys can get a better view. But we're working through, and then this back part is gonna be really simple as well. I'm gonna take my comb, I'm gonna lay it flat at the angle of the side of the head, and I'm gonna knock off that corner as we move our comb up. Okay, looks something like that. Clean that up. Let's go ahead and just add our lines in here. So same thing here, I'm gonna use my clipper there. Can you see that okay? Okay, we're not trying to go too crazy. We could still clean that up a little bit more to make sure it pops. And then this back line, it's gonna be pretty important. I'll switch over this way to get a better angle on it. But we've already started here, so I'm gonna do the exact same thing I did on the other side, right? Setting my angle, I'm gonna come in with my V, and it's gonna extend out. What I'm gonna try to do is that exact same thing I did on the other side, is bring this hairline up as high as possible to bring out that effect where it looks like the sun is shining right here, right around this head, right on this area right here. So we'll come and clean that up a little bit more. Okay, there you go. I see a couple little areas that I want to clean up. It's really easy. I know if I'm low on the head, closer to where I did my bald line, then I'm going to probably be at clipper open, right? And I'm going to have to be able to just come back in, almost be at close there, lever open there, to make sure that I erase all these little lines and have a nice smooth blend all the way until the top of our head. And maybe just a little bit right there, and I think we'll be all done. We'll go back to the clip that I think will get it, which is going to be our 0.5. Okay. So what we'll do is we're going to take a little bit of time to just make sure that everything's nice and cleaned up. Okay, on both sides. We're gonna add a little bit of shaving product just to bring out our corners, and then we'll give you guys one final look, okay? A little bit of shave gel here, just to bring out these corners. Shave gel there. And then shave gel in our corners right here. And I always like to add a little bit around here, just so we can kind of tap those areas to bring those areas out. Take a little bit from right there, tap around there. And usually here, we throw a warm towel across the head. It's open just like this. And then it'll wrap over and over. That way it can kind of touch every single area. Okay, as we're loading our razor, we go ahead and we leave it kind of open, exposed, so we can see right there. We're gonna wipe, 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 wipe. Make sure that we can stretch the skin. Can you guys see that okay there?
Yeah, good.
And we're gonna pull down these little hairs to make sure that it's a nice and crispy right there, nice and clean. We'll come back and lean this way, pull the grain of the hair forward. There you go. And we'll lift up here. You can see that there. We're going to try to bring up this corner here, bring it out a little bit there. Shaving the corners. I don't want to go against the grain, so I'm just going to do with the grain here. If the hair goes up, I got to go up on my razor, okay? This is not the actual technique that we should be using for this. Well, since the cut pattern of the growth is a little bit different there, then we're going to go ahead and just stick to that. I'm going to go ahead and bring this towel here. We'll wipe down, get rid of some of this extra little hair here. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull that open, and I'm going to just tap in here just a little bit to make sure that this is nice and clean, okay? It'll give us that little effect that we want. Okay, Moving over to this side. We're gonna wipe there also. Stretch the skin. We see that okay? Come down. So this blade really helps us to grab every single little hair. The hair that needs to be there can stay. The hairs that don't, we pull, we can kind of take these off using the corner of our blade, okay? Like I did on the other side, we'll come down here, try to clean this up, try to stick with either across the grain, but never against the grain. You don't want to irritate the client's head too much. And then here we're going to stretch and we're going to just do a small little cleanup there with our razor. Just a quicker way, easier way than grabbing our foil shaver and coming in and marking some harsh lines. If we do have any kind of little line, we can always come back and make sure it's all cleaned up. Okay, we've got a little speck right there that we're gonna go ahead and clean up before we jump into our outline on the front. We're using the corner of my blade, I can kind of clean that up there. This is all nice and clean. And then here, what we're gonna do is we're really not gonna do like a major lineup. We're just gonna kind of tap the front to help them have a little more symmetrical line as it kind of grows back. So I'm gonna come here and just tap here, the front, making sure I'm coming from the top. I'll recomb my hairs. And off this side, I'm gonna stand directly in front and I'm gonna see that this is where I wanted to go up just a little bit more. You can see we're not even getting into the real hairline yet, but definitely need to wanna make sure we bring this side up so it matches our other side just a little bit more. Something like that. We don't want to go too crazy with the hairline. The client did not want any razor, so we're just going to make sure we just tap that there. One last technique that I wanted to use. Okay, so now we've spent the last, I don't know, 20 minutes or 25 minutes doing the haircut. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of product. That's what we show at the school. Let's do that last like 2-3 minute service. It's not going to take much longer, but you guys will see if we look down, his hair, straight hair, right? But we want to add a little bit more texture to the top. And even though the hair's short, we could do that with the right kind of product. So as long as you're using like a clay pomade, has to be thick. As long as we use thick, it doesn't have to be this brand, but that's what we're using for this situation, okay? We'll take like a dime size of this. What we'll do next is we're gonna emulsify into our hands, and I'm just gonna lay it on there like pretty heavy, all the way down, okay? Like if I'm gonna slick it down. What we'll do is we'll take a hot towel next, wrap it around the head just to take off any white, because a lot of times these clay products that are matte leave a little white film and we don't want that. So we make sure that there stays like that. The last thing we're going to do in every kit, we add our texturizing comb. So if you look down, maybe we could get a little shot right there, but working this from the back there, can we see that okay there? Okay, we're going to see how this is going to change and add a lot of texture to the hair and totally change the final result of this cut, okay? It's got a little volume, a little dimension to where it looks like a total different cut. All the way down, you guys can kind of see we've done half. We got this flat side still going there, just working our texture comb all the way to the front. And if we look down, it kind of changes, actually does a pretty good job of changing the final look that we have there towards the front. So there we go. We're gonna add a little bit. Now we can get a full shot of the whole haircut there. You can see all the texture in the cut. It really changes it there. So that's one side. We got the back rotating all the way to the other side. Simple, clean, and definitely a great way to change your customer's look even though he has short hair. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Smash that like button, leave a comment in the section. Follow us for any suggestions, and let us know if you would like to see any more videos like this. Thank you. All right, thank you guys for watching. Drop a like in the... Okay, drop a like. Wait, no, I got to think what it was. So drop a like, drop a comment, hit that like button. Yeah. Follow us for more videos. There you go. Okay. All right, thank you guys all for watching. Smash. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Dude, there's too many people now. Okay, all right. Last one, I got it.